Hello there and welcome to another episode of Eye on Port. This program is proudly brought to you by GUTA Company Limited, West Blue Consulting, Ghana Revenue Authority and the Ghana Community Network Services. Our proud media partner is the Business and Financial Times. In this week's edition of the program, we will be discussing the ease of doing business at the ports with specific reference to the role of shipping lines in that regard. Eye on Port engaged Adam Imoru, who is an executive member of the Ship Owners and Agents Association of Ghana, Fred Asiedu-Date, who is the head of freights and logistics at the Ghana Shippers Authority, and Eddie Akno, a council member and a past executive of the Ghana Institute of Freight Forwarders.
Ghana went down by 4 places to 118 in the latest World Bank Ease of Doing Business ranking. The country dropped from 114 in 2019 to 118 in 2020 for the World Bank's flagship publication on the ease of doing business among 190 economies. In efforts to assess easy and cost-effective ways of doing business at Ghana's ports, Eye on Port this week engaged experts from major stakeholder agencies in the port trade to assess the role of the shipping lines and their impact on cost efficiency and ease of doing business. Speaking on Eye on Port's live interactive panel discussion, Adam Imoru Ayana, executive member of the Ship Owners and Agents Association of Ghana, said the shipping lines play significant roles in the maritime trade by transporting goods from different countries into Ghana, but bemoaned the poor time consciousness of the Ghanaian trader and other port facilities.
And what I've seen in Ghana is we really don't cost time.
I see.
And that is the beginning of all failures. If you don't cost time, then you have a challenge in everything you do. And over the period, there have been chops and changes in the industry, which does not really help.
Fred Asiedu-Date, head of freight and logistics at the Ghana Shippers Authority, and Eddie Akron, an executive member of the Ghana Institute of Freight Forwarders, on their turn, complained that shipping lines have assumed the autonomy to peg their own exchange rates, making it expensive for importers to clear their cargoes and adding to the increasing cost of doing business.
What we found out is that even though the Bank of Ghana has given a certain exchange rate, which for which government revenue and other charges are being are used, to apply. The shipping lines apply varied rates.
There's no standard rate, but the scary part is this: where does it end? If I'm telling you, the one shipping line was at
the two, whose outfits represent the important public, also lamented that shipping lines are failing to work on weekends, even though efforts have been put in place to ensure that Ghana's port operates 24 hours and 7 days. Yet, the shipping lines charge demurrage, which includes weekends.
Thankfully, now we have a port that operates 24/7. And you would find out that the shipping lines would operate 8 to 5, Monday to Friday. And so if there are things to be done over the weekend, the shipping line offices are closed. However, if the particular consignment had gone on demurrage, then the demurrage continues to count.
including the weekends?
Including the weekend.
Adam Imoru Ayana, however, responded that the shipping lines, as private businesses, would have to make a business analysis to find out whether it makes commercial sense to open its offices on weekends.
This is private business. That is fine. So if we have to change anything, we have to look at the dictates of the business and see whether it makes business sense or commercial sense. Because our customers, serving our customers is very critical.
He revealed that during a pilot program in 2014-2015 by Customs to operate 24/7, shipping lines opened on weekends but had a poor patronage. Adam Imoru Ayana suggested that before looking at the issue of working on weekends, other players in the clearance chain should prioritize working on time so there would not be need for weekend overtime.
Let's just not shout that, the port is opening at 24/7, and let's look at the whole chain. What are we doing from 8 o'clock? That is the normal time of opening hours for most business, 8 or 8:30 to 10 or to 11. What happens then? No, I'm just saying what happens then. If we can close that gap, we might see that we don't even have to go into the weekend.
Eddie Akron criticized the current system where shipping lines only release cargo after customs compliance has been done and called for decoupling of the two activities.
When we do a declaration and we pay duties, customs, it goes through customs compliance. Until customs compliance is done, the shipping line will not release your goods. Yeah. Why should that be so? I have a contract with the shipping line to carry my goods to Ghana. So once I come into Ghana, I have my bill of lading, I walk to them, they should give me a release. It shouldn't be tied to customs compliance.
Fred Asiedu Date again called on shipping lines to make their container deposit refund systems transparent and swift to reduce the cost of trading and ease of doing business.
You will need to make a deposit, for carrying the container out of the port. But when the container has been returned, the refund mechanism, is not straightforward. A lot of the times, when you have to pay the deposit, you pay it upfront. But when the refund has to be done, it has to be done maybe after a week, after 2 weeks, and it takes a bit of time. That is money locked in there.
His assertion was corroborated by the Ghana Institute of Freight Forwarders.
Despite the fact that I have a deposit sitting at the shipping line, I will still have to go to the shipping line, raise an invoice, pay for that extra demurrage before I can even take off this contact box, and then go back and then wait for a week, 2 weeks, and sometimes, as we speak now, a month for your deposit that you have put there.
But Adam admitted to an administrative challenge that does not make it possible for shipping lines to give out refunds instantly.
The 1 month is very scary.
I am telling you. So I'm going to show you messages on my phone.
If it's going beyond a week, then it's a challenge. What I know is most of the shipping lines that I've spoken to, they deal with this. I think some do refunds twice in a week. Some they have fixed days that they do refunds, and I think it's administrative.
He emphasized that shipping lines are not interested in the demurrage, but quick turnaround time for their vessels, so importers should not entertain accruing demurrage and abide by the terms in their contractual agreements to clear their goods within the stipulated time frame.
If I bring your cargo and I bring it in my warehouse, which we call the containers, and I bring it to the ports, you knew the cargo was coming, right? You knew that it was coming. Why would you keep it for 30 days, 40 days?
You mean the importer?
The importer. Why would you keep it for that long? For me to get my container back to send it, because that is what I trade with. And if you do that, people will say, yeah, shipping lines are earning demurrage, but that is not what we are in the business for.
Fred Asiedu Date said the Ghana Shippers Authority has been educating importers to avoid the payment of demurrage as the cost involved in the payments of demurrage are so high. He revealed that Ghanaians paid in excess of $96 million in 2016 alone, but there have been improvements recently.
In 2016, for instance, just for that year, 2016, we paid over $96 million in demurrage. But if the shipper were able to clear their goods and release their container, there would not be demurrage in the first place.
He stated that a workable relationship is in place between the Ghana Shippers Authority and the Ship Owners and Agents Association of Ghana to improve the current difficulties.
We may not be clothed with the powers as of now to attempt to crack the whip. However, all of the issues of commercial interest, all of the issues that bother the shipper, who again is the ultimate, bearer of the burden, are issues we bring to their attention.
Also, the people of Anglo celebrated last week the Ogbechocho Festival and the development of the KETA port and the fishing landing site featured prominently in the president's speech. Here is a report. President Nana Akufo-Addo has revealed that construction of the KETA fish landing site will commence in December 2019. In a speech read on his behalf by the Volta Regional Minister, Dr. Archibald Lecha, at this year's Ogbechocho Festival of the People of Anglo, the President said the month of November 2019 will be used for community engagement with the people of Anglo ahead of the construction works.
The President is committed to fulfilling his promises to the people of Anglo. and meeting the desire of the people in getting a fishing harbor and a port. As you may be aware, the process for the construction of the KETA port is ongoing. A director for the KETA port was appointed and introduced to the Womefia and his council. The director is supposed to speed up the procurement processes towards early construction work to begin.
The president added that government is working assiduously in meeting the desire of the people of Anglong in getting a fishing harbour and a port, and therefore revealed that the director of KETA Port, Dr. Alexander Edusei, is leading ongoing processes for the construction of the KETA Port.
The Honourable Minister for Transport was not too long ago in KETA concerning the construction of the KETA fish landing site. In November this year, there would be community engagement on the project, and in December, we shall cut the sod for construction to begin.
The president said the Ghana Ports and Harbours Authority has given an assurance to carry out some works on the KETA Lagoon soon. In other stories, the leadership of GUTA is unhappy about what they describe as some foreigners engaging in illegal retail trade.
The unionized groups of the Ghana Union of Traders Association and the Ghana Electrical Dealers Association have served a one-week ultimatum to the retail community of foreigners selling without permit in the Ghanaian market to vacate the country's trading space, else they'll be met with aggression. The caution, which was characterized with agitations according to the unionized groups, follows an accumulated level of insubordination by foreign retailers in Ghana to the country's laws, which do not give room for non-citizens to do retail business in the Ghanaian market without permit.
And all these things, we have been going up and down with the government over this, and it has come to nothing. So at the moment, what we are saying is that if the government cannot implement the GIPC law 865, we the traders will implement the law for the government.
Section 27 of Act 865 of the GIPC law generally lays out activities that foreign investors are not permitted to invest or participate in, including the sale of goods or provision of services in a market, petty trading or hawking, or selling of goods in a stall at any place.
That law has stated the category of business that are supposed to be done by we Ghanaians, whereby foreigners cannot do those businesses. But at the moment, you'll be surprised that the same laws the same jobs are being taken over by other people.
They accuse the foreigners of trading in substandard products at low prices, making it difficult for Ghanaians who trade in quality products to thrive.
Foreigners have taken over the shops by bargaining for higher rates and all that stuff. They bring cheaper goods into the system to sell. And the funny thing is they don't pay any VAT or any taxes to the government.
The public relations officer of the Ghana Electrical Dealers Association, Samuel Ado, cautioned the foreigners engaged in illegal retail business to stop the business or they'll be forced to abandon their trade.
We've given them the ultimatum that they should close their shops and leave our markets.
Meanwhile, the regional secretary of the Ghana Union of Traders Association, Nana Poku, has called on the president of Ghana, whose auspices the Ghana Investment Promotion Center is under, to come out and support the charge of GUTA to stop illegal foreign retailers from operating in Ghana.
GIPC is linked to the presidency. I will use this your medium to call on the president and tell the populace of Ghana, tell Ghanaians whether he is for the foreigners or he is for Ghanaians who voted him to serve us.
The regional secretary of GUTA, speaking on Eye on Port, live on national television, re-echoed his organization's resolve to ensure that the laws protecting local retailers are abided by and foreigners illegally indulging in retail business discontinue their activities.
The laws is explicit. It's telling Ghanaians that that place or that area is reserved for Ghanaians.
He debunked all speculations, suggesting that the Ministry of Trade is championing their drive to push foreign retailers away.
Let me first debunk a notice that is circulating around that Ministry of Trade is in bed with GUTA, and all this agitation is the ministry that is actually behind us. This is not through.
Nana Poku emphasized that his organization is currently focused on educating the foreign retail traders on Ghanaian laws to allow them make their decisions to abandon the trade peacefully.
What we are doing right now is we are educating them. Our men will come to you, educate you with the law for you to leave the market peacefully.
And if they don't?
If they resist, there are so many ways we will handle the situation to save the name Ghana.
But non-violently?
Not violently.
Okay.
He said the foreign traders, aside creating undue competition, also sell inferior product, which is at the detriment of the Ghanaian consuming public.
Yeah. I would have shown you evidence whereby instead of hospital supplies being given to Ghanaian companies, it is being offered to these Nigerian companies who are actually supplying these hospitals with fake, because I was there when we seized large number of fake disinfectants and so forth and so on.
Eye on Port returns after the break.
Here's innovation from Goyle that takes you further. New Goyle Super Synthetic 5W20 and 5W30 lubes have been expertly crafted with the latest in liquid engineering technology, highly advanced for modern engines, prolongs oil change intervals, save you fuel, clean, protect and enhance engine performance. The way engines work has become complex, and Goyle has innovated to stay ahead. Expertly crafted lubricants that work excellently with all petrol and diesel engines of today. New Goyle Super Synthetic 5W20 and 5W30 lubes. Innovation that takes you further. Goyle. Good energy.
Dear valued client, the Ghana Trade Hub mobile app is now live to make it easy to track your consignment and know the estimated duty payable for both general goods and used vehicles. We are pleased to inform you that the Ghana Trade Hub mobile app is available for download on Google Play Store for Android users and the App Store for Apple users. This is the best opportunity for all importers and exporters to know the duty payable on every good under transaction. You can reach the team for inquiries and support by calling +233 242 435 663. Send an email to support@ghanastradinghub.com. To remain updated, kindly follow progress on the following platforms: www.facebook.com/Ghana Trade Hub, www.twitter.com/Ghana Trade Hub, and ghlinkedin.com/in/Ghana Trade Hub. Importers and exporters can download the official Ghana Single Window mobile app, which allows you to track your consignment conveniently and also allows you to obtain your estimated duty for general goods and used vehicles. Please spread the message to everyone importing or exporting. The Ghana Trading Hub mobile app is now live. Download and never be cheated. This is powered by the Smart Ports project under the auspices of the Government of Ghana and the Ghana Revenue Authority. Smart Port, improving Ghana's ease of doing business.
Electricity, then pay your taxes. Our taxes, our future.
Because you see, without our taxes, we wouldn't have good roads, good schools, better hospitals, street lights, and other very important social amenities. When we pay our taxes, we give our children free and quality education. Talga, my money too small. Why should I pay my tax? Look, small. Salifo, it doesn't matter how small or big your business or income is. You still have to pay your taxes. The little taxes from each and every one of us, when put together, could give your community clean water or that deprived school with tables and chairs. Please pay your taxes. It is your responsibility. It is your civic duty. It is the law.
Welcome back from the break. You're still watching Eye on Port. News and activities happening within the port and maritime industry next.
Ghana's leading oil marketing company, Goyle, continues to demonstrate its patriotism to the social development of the country and has as a result donated 1,000 hospital beds to the Ministry of Health for onward distribution across public hospitals in the country. Handing over the beds, the CEO and Group MD of GOIL, Kwame Osei-Prempeh, revealed that the donation, which includes delivery beds, children beds, and normal hospital beds, all fitted with durable mattresses, is intended to alleviate the no-bed syndrome in Ghanaian public hospitals.
They are expected to ease conditions at the various public hospitals and help reduce the incidence of patients sleeping on the floor of some of the hospitals and to help kill the phenomenon of no beds.
He revealed that in 2017, a similar donation was made to the Ministry of Health, as well as many other significant contributions to the health sector.
Our support to health institutions in particular has been crucial of GOIL's corporate social responsibility. GOIL was, for instance, a major contributor to the building of the Baby and Child Center at the Confederate Teaching Hospital, spearheaded by the First Lady, Mrs. Rebecca Kufuor, and which was inaugurated last year.
Receiving the beds on behalf of the country, a Deputy Minister of Health, Tina Gifty Nayele Mensah, asked other corporate entities to emulate the generosity of GOIL to contribute to the development of healthcare in Ghana.
They should also come to our aid because they all have social responsibilities, and these are some of the things that when you do, your citizens or your clients also have at least something out of what they give out to those various companies, philanthropies. They are asking them to come to our aid.
She urged the public to patronize GOIL products, as the indigenous oil marketing company would channel some of its profits into such laudable activities which benefits all Ghanaians. International ports and maritime news next. France Port of Le Havre Supervisory Board has decided to grant General de Manutention Portuaire a concession contract for the construction and operation of the container terminal for the port's 2,000 berths 11 and 12. Port Handling Company GMP is a joint venture between Dubai-based port operator DP World and Terminal Link, a subsidiary of French shipping major CMA CGM. Under the terms of this decision, GMP will be responsible for the creation and operation of the container terminal located at the west end of Port 2000. Monaco-based Navios Maritime Containers has extended time charters of two 10,000 TEU vessels through 2024. In September 2019, the company agreed to extend the time charters of the 2010-built Navios Unison and the 2011-built Navios Constellation at $27,300 per day net until May 2024. Following such extension, an additional cumulative EBITDA of around $30 million is expected for both vessels. The company reviewed the charter extensions as part of its financial results for the third quarter and 9 months ended September 30, 2019. Isabel Durant, the deputy head of the United Nations Conference on Trade and Development, told the Global Maritime Forum Summit on October 30, 2019 that if emissions from the maritime industry are not cut, we are headed for an environmental disaster. At around 800 million tons per year, the industry as a whole is responsible for approximately 2.2% of all global emissions. Speaking at a plenary panel on the importance of drastically reducing maritime emissions, Durant said that the maritime industry is heavily reliant on a form of liquid fuel that has a high carbon footprint.
Here's innovation from GOIL that takes you further. New GOIL Super Synthetic 5W20 and 5W30 lubes have been expertly crafted with the latest in liquid engineering technology, highly advanced for modern engines, prolongs oil change intervals, save you fuel, clean, protect and enhance engine performance. The way engines work has become complex, and GOIL has innovated to stay ahead. Expertly crafted lubricants that work excellently with all petrol and diesel engines of today. New GOIL Super Synthetic 5W20 and 5W30 lubes. Innovation that takes you further. GOIL. Good energy.
Electricity, then pay your taxes. Our taxes, our future.
Because you see, without our taxes, we wouldn't have good roads, good schools, better hospitals, street lights, and other very important social amenities. When we pay our taxes, we give our children free and quality education. Talga, my money too small. Why should I pay my tax? Look, small. Salifo, it doesn't matter how small or big your business or income is. You still have to pay your taxes. The little taxes from each and every one of us, when put together, could give your community clean water or that deprived school with tables and chairs. Please pay your taxes. It is your responsibility. It is your civic duty. It is the law.
Schedules of vessels in the port, those at anchorage and those expected in the coming week, plus the Bank of Ghana exchange rate next. That's all for this week's episode of Eye on Ports. Join us again same time next week. Thanks for watching and thanks to the entire crew.